Believe it or not, somewhere in your country, right now, there is a flower blooming on a patch of soil where no one has lived for 100 years. The house is gone. The gardener has been at rest for generations, and yet the flowers come back every single spring exactly where they were planted. That is not magic. That is what perennials do when you grow them right. Most gardeners never get to see this happen because they treat perennials the same way they treat their tomatoes and lettuces. They water too much, they fuss too often, and they reach for the short-lived plants the garden center puts at the front of the shop. There is a far better way. 7 small secrets passed down by the old gardeners that turn ordinary perennials into plants that simply will not die. Stay close because secret number 2 reveals how the very same flowers have been passing from grandmother to granddaughter for over 200 years without anyone ever buying a single new plant. Welcome back to the channel. Tap subscribe so you never miss another secret like this, and drop a comment telling me which perennial you are growing right now. Now let us get into the list of these 7 secrets, ranked from quietly forgiving to absolutely immortal. Number 7 is the secret that runs against your loving instincts. Forget the daily watering rituals after the first year. Here is the truth that most gardeners only learn after years of trial and error. New perennials do need consistent water through their very first growing season, because they have to send their roots down deeply into the soil to find their own water supply for the rest of their lives. So in that very first year, you water deeply and generously, twice a week, even when it does not look like the plant needs it. After that first season, you put the watering can down. Mature perennials are tougher than you think. They have built their own underground network of roots and stored reserves, and they would much rather be left alone than be watered to death. Picture a young perennial in May with a small watering can held gently over its base, contrasted with a mature peony in August, thriving in full bloom without a drop of help from the gardener. So here is the rule: deep, generous watering for the first season. After that, only water during a genuine drought, and only when the top inch of soil feels truly dry. Never water on a schedule once a plant is established. Most people get this secret wrong because they treat their perennials the way they treat tomatoes and lettuces, watering them every morning along with everything else. The result is shallow-rooted plants that die at the first dry spell because they never had to send their roots down to find their own water. Train your perennials to be self-sufficient from year 1, and they will repay you with decades of generous growth. Less water, deeper roots, longer life. The next secret is the single greatest labor-saving trick any perennial gardener ever learned. Number 6 is the secret that does more work for you than every other secret combined. Mulch generously, and do it every single year. Bare soil between perennials is a slow and certain death sentence. Without mulch, weeds spring up and steal the water and nutrients you spent good money preparing. Without mulch, the soil dries out under the summer sun and bakes the roots. Without mulch, the winter frost reaches down and damages the crown of the plant. With mulch, almost every one of those problems quietly disappears. Picture a wheelbarrow of fresh dark wood chips beside a perennial bed in early April, with a gloved hand spreading the chips around the gentle red shoots of a peony just pushing through the soil. So here is what you do. Every spring, lay down 2 to 3 inches of any good organic mulch around your perennials. Shredded bark, wood chips, leaf mold, well-rotted compost, or even pine needles will all work. The one rule: keep the mulch a small finger width away from the actual stem of the plant, never piled up against it, or you risk rotting the crown. Most people get this secret wrong in 2 ways. They either skip mulching entirely, leaving their beds bare and miserable, or they mulch only once in the first season and never again. Mulch breaks down over time, feeding the soil as it disappears, which is exactly the point. The layer must be renewed every spring to keep doing its quiet, generous work. Done properly, Mulch does the watering, the weeding, and the feeding all at once. One yearly mulch is the labor of a single Saturday morning, and the reward is 12 months of healthier plants. The next secret is the one-time investment that decides everything that follows. Number 5 is the secret that decides whether your perennials ever stood a real chance at all. Prepare the soil once, deeply, and properly. Here is something most gardeners do not stop to think about. The patch of soil you plant a perennial into is the soil it must live in for the next 20, 50, or even 100 years. A peony planted in a tiny pocket of poor compacted ground will limp along forever, never quite thriving. The same peony planted in a deeply prepared, generously enriched bed will produce flowers that take your breath away every spring for the rest of your life. So here is the rule. Before you plant, dig the entire bed to at least 1 full spade depth, and ideally 2. Loosen the soil thoroughly, then mix in generous quantities of well-rotted compost or aged manure to feed the soil and improve its structure. If your soil is heavy clay and your perennials hate wet feet, add coarse sand or fine gravel for drainage. Picture a garden fork turning over a deep bed of dark, crumbly soil in autumn, with fallen leaves and rich compost being worked into the earth, ready for spring planting. The beautiful truth about this secret is that you only ever have to do it once. After this initial deep preparation, the perennials themselves and the yearly mulch from secret number 6 will keep your soil alive and improving forever. Most people get this secret wrong because they dig a small hole the exact size of the plant pot, drop the perennial in, and walk away expecting the plant to thrive in untouched garden soil. Perennials are not annuals. They live for decades. They deserve a proper, generous home from the very first day. Soil prepared once feeds your perennials for the rest of their lives. The next secret is the truth more gardeners learn the hard way than any other. Number 4 is the truth that more gardeners learn the hard way than any other. Right plant, right place. More perennials die from being planted in the wrong spot than from any other cause on earth. A shade lover wilting in full sun, a sun lover stretching and pale in dappled shade, a drought lover drowning in heavy wet clay, a moisture lover crisping in dry sandy soil. The plant struggles for a year or two, looks more and more unhappy, and then quietly disappears. So here is the rule. Before you buy any perennial, stand in the spot where you want to plant it and ask 3 honest questions. How many hours of direct sun does this spot actually get over a full day? How wet or how dry is the soil here, both in summer and in winter? How exposed is it to wind and to the worst of the winter cold? Then go and find a perennial that genuinely wants those exact conditions. Hostas, ferns, and astilbes for shade, daylilies, coneflowers, and bee balm for sunny borders, sedums, lavender, and Mediterranean herbs for dry sunny spots, astrantias, joe pye weed, and ligularias for damp ground. Picture a sunlit border alive with sedums and tall ornamental grasses on the dry, south-facing side of a garden, contrasted with a cool, shady corner under a tree where soft green hostas spread out in a hush of dappled light. The right plant in the right place needs almost no fussing, and it can quietly grow into the kind of long-lived perennial waiting for you at secret number 1, the kind that outlives the gardener who planted it. Most people get this secret wrong because they buy a plant they fell in love with at the garden center, then look for a place to put it instead of the other way around. The perennial almost always loses. But first, the secret that turns one beautiful clump into many. Number 3 is the secret that turns one beautiful clump into many. Divide your perennials every 3 to 5 years, or, with one beautiful exception, leave them entirely alone forever. Many of the most beloved perennials in any garden lose vigor over time as the center of the clump becomes old, woody, and tired. The flowers shrink, the foliage thins out in the middle, the plant stops being its glorious self. The cure is to dig the whole clump up, slice it into pieces, and replant only the youngest, healthiest sections from the outer edge. Daylilies, hostas, irises, ornamental grasses, sedums, and bee balm all benefit enormously from this regular rejuvenation. So here's how you do it. For spring flowering perennials, divide in autumn. For autumn flowering ones, divide in spring. Lift the entire clump with a garden fork and use a sharp spade or a strong knife to slice it cleanly into smaller pieces. Throw the old tired center on the compost heap. Replant the young outer divisions exactly as you would a brand new plant. Picture a garden fork lifting a thick clump of mauve flowering daylilies in October, with the gardener carefully slicing it into 4 smaller healthy crowns, each one ready to start a new life in a fresh patch of soil. Now here is the honest exception. Peonies hate being divided, and they will sulk for years if you try. Oriental poppies, baptisia, and hellebores also resent disturbance and prefer to be left in peace. So know your plants. Divide what loves to be divided and leave the others alone. Most people get this secret wrong in one of 2 ways. They either never divide, watching their plants slowly fade into a quiet old age, or they divide everything blindly, including the few perennials that hate it. Dividing is only half the technique. The other half is what you do with all those generous extra divisions, and that is the entire foundation of secret number 2. Number 2 is the loveliest secret in the entire art of perennial gardening. Pass your divisions along. The most beautiful perennials in any old neighborhood were almost never bought from a garden center. They were passed by hand from one gardener to another, divided clump by clump, over years and sometimes whole lifetimes. There is a name for these plants. Generations of gardeners have called them pass-along plants. Here's the story behind the secret. There's a tough, fiery orange daylily known across America as the ditch lily, the roadside lily, or the outhouse lily. It was first recorded planted in the United States in the year 1793. Because it is a sterile plant that almost never sets seed, every single clump of it growing wild today in roadsides and ditches and abandoned foundations across 42 American states was either planted by a gardener or grew from a piece of root carried by another. Picture a long stretch of rural Tennessee roadside in late June, with hundreds of fiery orange blooms rising from the ditches where a homestead road once turned in. The houses long since vanished, but the flowers still faithful. In 1993, the great American garden writers Steve Bender and Felder Rushing published an entire book about this tradition, titled Pass Along Plants, documenting the irises, peonies, hostas, and daylilies that have traveled through families and across whole regions of the country for more than 2 centuries. So here is what to do. When you divide your favorite perennials at secret number 3, do not throw away the spare pieces. Piot them up, tie a small handwritten label around the neck of the pot, and give them away. Give them to friends, give them to neighbors, give them to grandchildren just starting their first garden. Ask other gardeners for divisions in return. Within a few seasons, your perennial border becomes a living archive of plants given to you by people you love, every one of them carrying a small piece of another garden inside it. Picture an older gardener handing a younger gardener a small terracotta pot with a freshly dug iris division wrapped in damp newspaper, a small label tied around the rim with a piece of garden twine. Most people get this secret wrong because they assume garden plants are a thing you buy. But the very best ones, by long tradition, are gifts. And now, secret number 1, the most extraordinary truth of all about perennials. Number 1 is the deepest secret of them all, the one that finally answers the question this whole video is built around. To grow perennials that truly never die, start with perennials that genuinely live for a very long time. Some so-called perennials are short-lived plants in disguise, lasting 3 or 5 years before they need replacing. Other perennials are the legendary long livers of the garden world, the ones that quietly outlive the people who plant them. The most extraordinary of all of these is the herbaceous peony. Here is the truth that takes most gardeners by surprise. A well-sited peony bush easily lives 30 to 50 years. Given a proper home and the lightest possible care, peonies routinely live 100 years, and some are known to live considerably longer. David Trinklin, the horticulture expert at the University of Missouri Extension, has called the peony the perfect example of a flower that outlives its original caregiver and has documented a peony planting in Missouri still blooming today on the same patch of soil for over 100 years. Picture a country cemetery in rural Missouri on Memorial Day, lined with bushy peonies in deep pink and creamy white, planted in the 1800s to honor the fallen of the American Civil War, still blooming every May, all on their own. Up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Nichols Arboretum holds the largest collection of heirloom peonies in all of North America, started in 1922 as a gift from an alumnus, the pharmacist William Erastus Upjohn. Nearly 800 peony plants there now produce up to 10,000 blossoms every single spring, all from old varieties that have been quietly thriving for a full century. The famous peony called Festiva maxima was introduced in 1851, and it is still widely grown today, more than 170 years later. The Sarah Bernhardt peony, born from a French nursery in 1906, remains one of the most popular peonies in the world. So here is what to do. When you choose perennials, look up the lifespan before you buy. Reach for the legendary, long-lived plants. Peonies, hostas, daylilies, bearded irises, hellebores, asparagus, rhubarb, sage, and lavender will all reward you for decades, often longer than you will be there to see. And avoid the short-lived pretenders like delphiniums, lupines, and columbines, unless you accept that they will need replacing every few years. Picture a freshly dug peony root with a few pale pink eyes pointing up, held in the palms of two hands, ready to give it to a grandchild for the first garden of a new life. Plant a peony when you are 40, and it will still be blooming when you are 80. Plant a peony for a grandchild, and it might bloom on their wedding day. That is not gardening. That is a small, gentle, living legacy given to the future with the lightest touch of your own hands. So there they are. 7 secrets to growing perennials that never die, even if you forget about them for whole seasons at a time. Patient watering after the first year. Generous mulch every spring. Deep soil preparation done just once. The right plant in the right place. Careful dividing of the clumps that benefit. Generous passing along of every extra division. And the patient, thoughtful choice of perennials that outlive even the gardener who plants them. That is the entire wisdom of 2,000 years of perennial gardening, distilled into 7 small understandings you can put into practice in your own garden this very week. This is the inheritance every old gardener from Provence to the American Midwest to a quiet English cottage garden has always carried, the deep, patient, quietly forgiving wisdom of plants that genuinely want to live with you for the rest of your days and with your grandchildren after you. You do not need a green thumb. You do not need a fortune. You do not need acres of land. You just need one understood patch of soil, one thoughtful choice of plants, and the willingness to trust the slow generosity of nature. So plant a long-lived perennial this season, the one that suits your garden best. Tell me in the comments which one you chose and where in the world you are growing it. I read every single message. And subscribe, because next we are uncovering the 7 secrets to growing peonies that bloom every single year without fail, the perfect deep dive into the most legendary perennial of them all. Until then, plant once, mulch wisely, pass along generously, and let your perennials feed your eyes and your soul for the rest of your life.